He walked dogs for a living. Old man, slow stride, always with the leash wrapped twice around his palm. Kids called him Gramps, joggers ignored him. Until one day, a car crashed in the park, and before anyone moved, the old man sprinted forward, smashed the window with a heel strike, and pulled the bleeding driver out like he was still 20. When the police arrived, he was already gone, just a leash swinging empty on a park bench. Before we begin, tell us where you're watching from. And don't forget to like the video. In the quiet town of Merrow Pines, nothing much ever happened. Kids biked in loops, neighbors waved too often, and the biggest commotion most mornings was the coffee machine jamming at Don's Deli. But everyone knew the old man with the dogs. No one knew his name. He walked the same route every day, 7 a.m. sharp. 3 dogs, different breeds. A wiry mutt, a sleepy retriever, and an aging bulldog with more rolls than energy. No one knew if they were his, or if he was just hired to exercise them. He didn't carry a phone, just a leash, looped twice around his wrist, and a thermos of something that steamed even in summer. People called him Gramps, but not to his face. He didn't talk much, but he watched everything. Teenagers roughhousing near the swings. He'd cross the park, slowly, just enough for them to quiet down. Jogger tripping over a root? He'd already be standing there with a hand extended before they could sit up. Once, a loose pit bull sprinted toward a toddler near the fountain. The old man stepped between them. Didn't shout, didn't flinch, just stared the dog down and said, "No." The pit bull froze, turned, walked away. No one could explain it. But after that, people started nodding at him in the mornings. Quiet thank yous. Longer stares. Still, no one knew where he lived. He never entered the shops. Never parked a car. Then came the crash. Saturday morning. Sunny. Breezy. Normal. A red sedan sped through the turn on Maple, clipped a trash can, lost control, and slammed sideways into a tree beside the park path. Screams. People ran toward it, then stopped. Smoke. Broken glass. The driver slumped against the wheel. Before anyone else moved, the old man dropped the leashes. The dogs sat. He sprinted. Fast. Too fast. Reached the car, braced one foot against the curb, and struck the side window with the heel of his boot. Shattered. Reached in. Unlatched the seatbelt with one hand and braced the driver's neck with the other. Pulled him out, fast but careful. Laid him flat. Check pulse. Tore open his own thermos and poured the contents on a cloth, pressed it to a bleeding gash. Then stood up. Walked away. By the time paramedics arrived, he was gone. Just the leash sat on the bench. Dogs waiting. Still. Obedient. If someone once protected your world without asking for recognition, someone who didn't just help but disappeared after, type saw him once in the comments. Some people save lives without names. The whole town talked about the crash. Small towns do that. The papers called it a miracle response from a passerby. The driver, a high school math teacher, had no memory of the moment. He only remembered hands steadying him and a voice saying, "Stay with me." The EMT swore the man who helped had field experience. He wrapped the compression like someone who's done it under pressure, once said. But no one saw where he went. Except the dogs. They stayed by the bench for almost an hour. Didn't bark. Didn't wander. Just waited. Eventually, Louise from the ice cream stand walked over, leashed them, and walked them around the block. Next morning, 7 a.m. sharp, they were walking again. With him. Gramps. Same path. Same pace. Like nothing had happened. Camilla, a teenager who worked mornings at the bagel shop, finally stepped out. "Hey, are you okay?" He nodded once. She pressed. "That crash? That was you, right?" No answer. Just a look. Then, gently, "You okay, miss?" She blinked. "Me? Yeah. I just..." "You watched. That's more than most. Keep watching." He tipped his head, turned, and walked on. That line stuck with her. She told it to her mom, who told it to her friend, who told it to the mayor's assistant. By Tuesday, there were photos circulating, blurry shots from security cams, grainy clips from phones. In every one, he was slightly turned away. One showed the heel of his boot pressed to the shattered car window, right before it gave. Someone zoomed in. Boot sole, thick. Tread unusual. Military issue. Someone else posted on the local forum. That window strike looked trained. Maybe ex-police. Another replied. Not police. That was close quarters rescue technique. Military. For sure. Camilla read every comment. So did the owner of the general store, who noticed something odd the next morning. Gramps, he always paused in front of the store window. Just for a second. Every day. Why? He checked the camera. Sure enough, the old man never looked at the window. He looked at the reflection behind him. Every time. Security expert? No. Something more. If you've ever known someone who walks like they're scanning, pauses like they're predicting, and vanishes before applause, drop he never turned his back in the comments. By Thursday, everyone was watching. People adjusted their morning routines just to be near the path when he walked. Some waved. Some offered water for the dogs. One man from the firehouse tried to thank him directly, stepped into his route with a hand outstretched. Gramps just nodded once. No thanks needed. He made it, then moved on. It wasn't rudeness. It was something else. Intent. Like every word cost something. Luis, the ice cream guy, started keeping notes. The way he checks corners before turning. That's muscle memory. I'd bet my paycheck he's done more than walk dogs. Someone else noticed that when toddlers got loud, Gramps' hands tensed, just for a second, until he verified the source of the sound. And the dogs? Perfectly trained. Never pulled. Never tangled leashes. When they sat, they did it in triangle formation. Mud on point. Retriever left. Bulldog right. Once, a drone flew too low in the park. Kids laughed. Gramps snapped his fingers once. The dogs turned away in unison. Defensive posture. It wasn't normal. Then came the boy, 8 years old, lost near the river bend. Mother frantic. She screamed, searched, called police. Camilla was working at the shop when it happened. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. Then Gramps appeared, mud on one sleeve, leaves on his boots, holding the boy's hand. Calm. No scratches. He followed a fox, he explained. Got stuck in the thorn brush. Didn't cry. Smart kid. He handed the boy back, tipped his head, and walked away. The mother broke into tears. One bystander asked where he'd found him. Gramps paused, pointed to the treeline, and simply said, Grid 2. The man blinked. What? But Gramps was already gone. Camilla Googled it later. Grid 2 was part of military search and rescue protocol, used in tight terrain recovery ops. No civilian would say that. Unless they weren't always a civilian. That night, someone posted on the town forum. Who I asked the old man with the dogs. And someone else replied. Maybe the one who watched over us, even when we didn't know we needed it. If someone in your life once saved a moment, and then stepped back into the crowd, type saw him leave in the comments. Heroes don't always wait for headlines. Saturday brought the farmer's market. Half the town showed up. Camilla was helping her aunt sell homemade soaps when she saw him. Gramps, standing near the flagpole, watching 2 toddlers tug at a kite string. He wasn't smiling, but he didn't look tense either. She walked over, held out a coffee, black, no lid. He took it. Thank you, he said, for the first time. She sat on the bench nearby, waited. After a long silence, she asked, What should we call you? He glanced her way, thought for a moment, then said, Cole. Is that your name? It's the one I kept. She smiled. Well, thanks, Cole. Before she left, she added, People notice, you know. He said nothing, but the dogs shifted, relaxed. That same afternoon, the local historical society set up an exhibit on community veterans, framed medals, old unit photos, black and white letters from the front. One panel listed Medal of Honor recipients born in the county. Camilla scanned the names. Stopped. Cole R. Haddock, Afghanistan. 3-time deployment. Final mission, rescue under live fire. Civilian contractors recovered. 0 casualties. Discharged, medical. Status, unlisted. She stared. It couldn't be coincidence. The very next morning, she waited by the park entrance. When he arrived, she said, softly, Haddock? He stopped walking. Said nothing. She continued, Why here? He looked around, then pointed to the dogs. They need walking. And you? He finally said, I need to keep moving. After a pause, she added, You saved people again. He nodded once. They never really leave your hands. Even after you stop holding the rope. That line stayed with her for days. That night, someone left a plaque by the bench. Small. Simple. For the man who walked the line. Even after it was gone. It was still there the next morning. So was he. If someone you know carried the weight long after the mission ended. If they still kept the rope tight, even when no one saw it. Type, he kept moving in the comments. Memorial Day came fast that year. The town set up flags along Main Street, lined chairs, and taped paper signs to lampposts. A parade, like always, Marching band, old trucks, kids with paper poppies. Camilla was helping the Rotary Club serve lemonade when she saw him. Cole, same jacket, same dogs, standing at the far edge of the crowd. Not in the parade, not watching it, exactly, but present, at attention. When the honor guard passed, Camilla stepped away and crossed the street. You served, she said quietly. Cole didn't answer. Just watched the flags ripple in the wind. Then, you don't parade what you carry. You just carry it right. Someone else noticed him. The mayor. He whispered to the parade announcer. 2 minutes later, the microphone crackled. Please take a moment for the quiet watchmen in our community. The ones who still hold the rope. This year's moment of silence is for someone standing with us, not behind us. The whole crowd turned. To Cole. He didn't move. Didn't nod. Just stood straighter. After the event, people approached slowly. With handshakes, soft thank yous, a few salutes from older men who recognized the name Haddock. One man, a retired colonel, simply placed a single challenge coin in Cole's palm and said, You didn't need to come back. But you came back here. That matters. That night, Luis noticed something different. The dogs. They sat outside the bench longer. Waited even after Cole stood. Like they were holding the space for something. Or someone. Camilla asked Cole why he hadn't left. He just replied, Because one of these days, someone else will need help. And I'd rather be near than late. If someone once stayed nearby, not because they had to, but because they might be needed, type he stayed ready in the comments. The morning after a summer storm, Camilla arrived early to open the shop. Rain still clung to the benches. The sidewalks glistened. And for the first time in a year, Cole wasn't there. But the dogs were. Sitting exactly where they should be. Leashes tied to the bench in a perfect triangle. Waiting. Camilla's chest tightened. She crossed the street, knelt, and checked them, dry, calm, unharmed. But alone. She called Luis. He hadn't seen Cole. She checked the coffee shop. No one had handed him his usual black with no lid. The dogs remained still as if told to wait. By noon, word had spread. People started bringing by water, treats, gentle words. But no one claimed them. Finally, at 4:12 p.m., a white envelope appeared beneath their paws. No one saw who left it. Camilla opened it. Inside, a single folded note. If they're alone, it's because I'm not meant to walk anymore. They know where to go. Cole R.H. Luis read it, then sat down beside them. They're trained. They won't leave until dismissed. Camilla whispered, Then maybe it's time someone walks them. She took the leashes. The dogs didn't resist. They stood, turned, and began walking the path Cole had taken every morning. Same speed. Same turns. Neighbors stopped. Watched. Some followed. That day, the park was full of people walking in quiet. No music. No speeches. Just motion. That evening, as the sun set, the 3 dogs lay beside the bench, heads raised, calm, waiting. Some missions don't end with a ceremony. They end with trust handed down without words. If someone ever taught you how to carry something forward, quietly, drop walked for him in the comments. The dogs came back the next morning. No one told them to. They sat by the bench, leashes curled neatly beneath their paws, eyes on the path. People started calling it the watch. Luis brought them breakfast. Camilla changed her morning shift so she could open earlier, just to see them. No one said the word memorial, but everyone treated the space like sacred ground. A craftsman from town carved a nameplate, not for Cole, but for the idea he left behind. For those who walk quietly but see everything, parents pointed out the spot to their children. That's where the man helped, they'd say. He was always watching. One afternoon, the mailman arrived with a small package. No return label. Inside, 3 collars. Hand-stitched. Brass tags engraved with Valor. Mercy. Watch. Camilla fastened them gently around each neck. The dogs sat taller. Later that week, a boy, 10 years old, stood beside the bench for a long time. When Camilla asked if he was okay, he nodded. My dad said the man who saved the teacher walked here. I wanted to see it. She knelt beside him. Do you want to walk the dogs? He hesitated, then took the leashes. They moved like they'd been waiting for him. That's how it started. Different people, different days. One would walk. The others would follow. The route didn't change. Same turns. Same pauses. Same stillness at the end. And the plaque stayed. No one touched it. Even after the town repaved the sidewalk, they left that square untouched. Like it had roots. Some footsteps don't fade. They multiply. If someone's quiet example led others to step forward, type he marked the path in the comments. Autumn came to Merrow Pines in gold. Leaves drifted across the same old walking path, and the bench near the fountain held its shape in the morning light. The dogs Valor, Mercy, and Watch still showed up. Still sat. Still waited. But now, they arrived with someone new each day. A teenager on her first solo walk. A man in a suit, taking a slow breath between calls. A kid with a cast, smiling wide as the retriever nudged his elbow. No one owned them. Yet everyone knew they belonged to all. The town didn't install a statue. Didn't hold a ceremony. But every year, on the anniversary of the car crash, people gather quietly by the bench. A coffee cup rests on the right corner. Black. No lid. Next to it, a folded note. Keep watching. Keep walking. Keep steady. Some say they've seen a figure at the far end of the path at dusk. Not clear. Just a silhouette. Hands behind back. Dogs at heel. Others say that's just imagination. But every morning, the dogs show up. Exactly on time. If someone in your life showed you how to lead by doing, how to leave a trail that others walk long after you're gone, say their name in the comments. Or just write still on patrol. If you like this story, please like and subscribe to the channel. Let YouTube promote stories of kindness.